Goeiemorgen, good morning and welcome. Knysna, or should I say Knysna? Okay, I get it. The pronunciation is due to a video game. But watching YouTube videos where they constantly get it wrong is rather strange. I'm not saying that I can pronounce every city or town that I ever visited correctly. But it just seemed like no effort was made to try to actually understand the area. The first time I remember visiting Knysna was to hike the Otaniqua hiking trail. We drove through town and walked into the forest, and for the longest time that was my only association with the town. This magical place with the tropical rainforests that somehow exist along this magic coast. On a later trip to Knysna, I visited the Heads for the first time and looked out over the lagoon. I was still very young and could not at the time tell you why estuaries fascinated me. The place where land and water meets, fresh water and salt water, the majesty of the ocean cliffs and the earthiness of the mud flats. I just knew it was a beautiful view and that I enjoyed it. Eventually I realized I was not the only person captivated by this. Knysna has and has always had a thriving artist community. Partly I think this is just because it is a stunning part of the world. Partly I think it's because there's always been a lot of access to materials like beautiful woods and that this has inspired people. But I also think that others were just captivated by the energy of Knysna, and their energy in turn pulled in travelers and tourists. For our accommodation in Knysna, we found a place right where the river meets the lagoon. While it's right off the main road, it seems like you're in the middle of nowhere, somewhere in nature. One of my friends, who is much more of a birdie than me, was delighted to see 10 different types of birds within our first hour of arriving. We were all just relaxing, soaking our feet in the pool after a long day, while the sun set spectacularly. And yet somehow, here in the middle of town, we were also in the middle of nature. We looked longingly at the canoes that the accommodation made available. While our road trips allow you to see much, it unfortunately does not allow you nearly enough time to linger and enjoy all that a town like Knysna has to offer. I had hoped we could make it out to Tesson Island for a meal. Knysna has long been famous for their seafood and especially their oysters. If you're visiting Knysna, I highly recommend a meal somewhere along the shoreline of the lagoon featuring Knysna seafood. After visiting the Knysna Head, we took a quick detour into the forest. We were lucky enough to run into some baboons. While some would argue that running into baboons is not really lucky, we had somehow never seen baboons anywhere on our trip yet. Seeing a family with the little ones next to the road was a very South African experience. During our trip into the forest, we passed some informal settlements. I don't want to get too deeply into my thoughts on informal settlements because I'm hoping to do a whole video about it where I can hopefully order my thoughts in a logical format. But I'm glad that we saw it. So often this side of South Africa is hidden away from the tourists, and all that they are shown are the pretty and the shiny. And they leave South Africa thinking everyone lives in big, beautiful mansions. I will, however, say that I come from Las Vegas, and because of the climate and the hope for making it big in Sin City, Las Vegas has a huge homeless community and even more people that are informally housed. So I am more aware than most that this is not a uniquely South African or African phenomena. Coming from Las Vegas, from the desert, Knysna and the whole garden route is just amazing. I just never see this much green, this many plants. It seemed that every crack in the pavement sprouted its own little forest.